let me tell you the difference between mind and physical. So you're clear what the Ho'oponopono is about. It's not about using medication, not about using herbs, not about doing any of that. So I'm just going to draw a picture on the board so you're clear as to what Ho'oponopono is all about. So let's look at a cell. Let's call this the cell. And you know, if you know a little bit about anatomy, it's got stuff in it. Yeah. And so now what we're paying attention to, is the fact that the cell has a mind of its own. So I'm going to draw the mind of the cell. I'm going to do it this way. This is you. This is the four cells, the divine creator, and now I'm going to give it a different name. I'm going to call it the Father, Mother, and the child. And this relationship is the most important relationship in creation, not between your biological, but within yourself, between the conscious and the subconscious. It's the most important relationship in the world, in creation. So I'm going to look at this. So now, let's look at the cell in terms of the mind. So around the cell is the subconscious. And this subconscious is over here. So if there's data in here called memory, the memory will be here. Okay? So I'm not talking about the cell itself. Then the next thing around the cell is the conscious mind. This is the mind of the cell. So this is the conscious mind here like that. And then finally, is this safe to use? Finally, the superconscious mind. And this superconscious mind is here. And the rest of it is here. So this is only one cell. So here it is. So now, what we want to do is, if the cell is cancerous, that is a cell. By the way, what is the definition of cancer? Can somebody be really clear? Don't give me bullshit. It's late afternoon. Just give me a clear definition of a cancer cell. Sir, can you give me a clear definition of a cancer cell?
No.
No. That's still wonderful. He's not going to wait. Uh-oh, somebody may think that. Yeah.
Isn't it a cell that's just stopped doing what it's supposed to do?
What does that mean? Like, for example. That's a good start. What is it?
That's a good start. That's where I'm going to end it, though.
A cancer cell is a cell not itself. A cancer cell is a cell not itself. It's not itself. So here's what happened. The reason you would have a cancer cell is because this memory is playing, and the memory creates a cell being shriveled. But it's the memory doing it, that's not in the cell. So this is the cause, and you have to be clear about this. The cell only exists as an effect. The cell only exists as a fact of information in the subconscious. It cannot exist otherwise. Okay, so now you're looking to work on cancer cell. Well, you're not going to pay attention to the effect. You want to go to the cause, which is the subconscious. So how do you deal with that? Well, you do I love you, but now the mother aspect of the mind must be willing to initiate it. In other words, she's stuck in there. So the mother aspect of the mind is so critical, because it's the mother who's going to decide whether to hold on or to let go. So let's say the mother decides to let go. She says, I love you. So now I love you, immediately, automatically, it goes downward, upward, upward. And it does the same thing here. So the mother becomes 100% responsible. It goes down into the child, up into the superconscious, up into the divinity. See it? This is the divinity. So now you're saying, I love you. So now the answer comes. The answer comes spiritually, mentally, physically. Same thing here. This is the cell you're working on. The effect comes down like that, erases that. Begins the process of erasing that. Erasing it. Erasing it. Erasing it. Now you're back to 0. 0, 0, 0, 0. And the same thing here. Now once the effect goes back to 0, it then finds itself back at 0. It says, this is who I am. I'm perfect. And then as the cell goes into 0, as Joe Vitale is saying, then it receives the inspiration from the divinity, and now it's perfect. So it's an enlightened cell. And that's what the Ho'oponopono is about. It's not about working on your body. It's about working on the child aspect that suffers. See? And all you have to do is say, I love you. Is one process. Another process which also says I love you, but it's a different facet, but it says the same thing. Thank you is saying I love you. The same, but you have a crystal that has different aspect of I love you, because God is love, yeah? Up here. God is love. So no matter what process you use, it's love. So now you have the Ha process that you can do. If you're going to New Zealand, return to New Zealand like Robin and Rose, if it's 9-hour flight, all they have to do is do this every hour. So before I leave for New Zealand, I'm at Kahului Airport. I do one set of Ha. Now where are you going, Robin? Where do you go from? Rose, where do you go from Kahului? You go to Honolulu? Aye. So now you do another round. So you get you to Honolulu. Now you're going to do 9 rounds. And as you do, as you're going back, you will never have jet lag. Zilch. Because when you go back free. It's called 0. So your cell, because you're 0, 0, 0, the cell is back at 0. It cannot have jet lag. Now it becomes enlightened. And as long as Rose and Robin are cleaning and doing their Ha, they will never experience jet lag. If you have depression, you can't experience. Depression is a lack of divine energy in you. So before you get really depressed, you should be breathing. Before you get really depressed, you should be drinking your water. It's called prevention. You don't want to wait until you get stuck in the data and start cleaning, because you won't. It's too late. So the idea is to be preventative. You want to always prevent. It's kind of like a good basketball team. Prevent, prevent, prevent. So the next one is the Y, the blue solar water. Look, now you got 1, 2, 3, 4. Then the other one is Hawaii. Joe Vitale, you've got a few. Where's my friend Joe? Why don't you come and write some up here? Joe Vitale's car. Yeah. So you'll watch, because Joe Vitale's going to write some for you that you can use.
There's a reason that you have my business card, and it's not because I'm trying to promote myself. You all probably know where my website is and the office phone number. It's because when I first made this and I showed it to Dr. Hulen, he said it was a cleaning device. Now again, this is him speaking what he feels is inspiration, and he said that whatever was going on, that I can just write it down, I can sweep this across it, I can sweep it across me, by holding it, by giving it out, that I was cleaning. And so you all have a cleaning device right now, this one. He also had said that, and this does sound crazy, doesn't it? Some of this? As you all laugh nervously, yes. You know? You want to know how crazy this is? When he and I were here this morning and we were walking around and we were talking, we were checking out the room and talking to the walls, crazy enough in itself, right? He said, do you have a little tickle in your throat? And I said, yeah, I've been clearing my throat all morning. He says, I have too. He says, that's space being dust. I said, what? That is some space, as far as I understand, I might be misquoting him, space being dust that is part of the programming that is here that we are clearing through our voice. As we are speaking today, we are clearing space being dust. Now, this is not out of my mentality. This is not in my frame of reality. But I'm just going with it. And it's the same thing when I hand you a business card and I say, he says it's a clearing device. I'm just going with it. Okay? When he says that the name of the company that makes that car, which is Panoz, P-A-N-O-Z, is actually a clearing device name. And it's pronounced, if you want to pronounce it right, it's Panoz. Panoz, like P-A-Y. And then N-O-S-E. Panoz is how you would pronounce that. Some of you know that occasionally Dr. Hulen has given people what I'll call spiritual names. And those, he's often been hired in the past to come up with a name for a company, to come up with a name for a person. And he will be in a meditative state, and he will allow divinity to inspire him with a name. Shortly after I met him, I asked him if he would do that for me. And I was more curious than anything. I'm fine with my name. I like my name. And I was just curious, what kind of name would he come up with?